Welcome back. I'm Neal.
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
And this is the 401. We're covering everything in the sports world. Just a couple guys in a basement with nothing better to do. Boys, how we feeling this week?
I am
Electric.
I do it every week, and I always say I'm like, but really this week, dude. Thanksgiving tomorrow. I couldn't be
Double
more
pod?
excited. Double pod.
got double pod
I'm
coming this
very excited. Having a good week, Mike.
I'm just excited. I mean, I was excited about this podcast all week. I'm excited to do the notes for it.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Edition,
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Gravvy edition. Yeah.
Neal?
Love it.
Just life, man.
He's living the dream.
just living
He's
the dream.
living the dream. Unreal.
All right, so quick outline for today. So we're gonna do a slightly condensed version, just because it's a special edition. We're gonna do, as always, my A and B, but then we're gonna hop into the 3 Thanksgiving games of the week: Bills, Cowboys, Saints, Falcons, and NFC Classic rivalry Bears, Lions. We're also gonna highlight. Go for something we don't usually do. Instead of going forward and projecting matchups, we're actually gonna take a look back and do Pat's Cowboys analysis. What went wrong, what we got to do better, what a lot of things definitely improved that game.
Absolutely.
And then we're gonna finish it off with our top 3 Thanksgiving foods.
Absolutely.
I think.
All right.
Let's start off with A and B.
Let's do it. All right.
So, A and B this week. All right. So, Patriots have a total of 3,003 receiving yards so far in the year. Obviously, Julian Edelman leads the team.
Yep.
He's got 809 of those yards, as well as 112 targets, 76 receptions so far this year, 68% catch rate, which is pretty damn good.
4 touchdowns.
If Edelman were to get hurt, God forbid,
Okay.
who would take the leadership role in the New England receiving corps? Dorsett or Sanu? Sanu
A
is
being
still...
Dorsett, B being Sanu.
Yes.
You think Dorsett?
Philip Dorsett. 100%.
Yeah, he
You
is...
think Dorsett
Philip
is
Dorsett.
the number one receiver?
I didn't say he was a number one receiver.
In this hopefully awful
Scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that Philip Dorsett
Philip
is the number
Dorsett.
one?
I'm not. He would take the leadership role, dude. He would be making the big plays like Edelman does. And when I think Edelman, when I think somebody replaces Edelman, consistency. It's consistency. If the what? It's true. If the Pats have a third down, it's up to him.
Sanu
almost
hasn't
every
been
time.
this for that long, though.
Yes, it
You think
is.
it's up to Philip Dorsett almost every time?
I think Philip Dorsett can
think
make
healthy-
consistent catches in the clutch
Oh my
more than
God,
Sanu can.
no, you
and
do
maybe
not.
and maybe we haven't seen enough out of Sanu. And that
We
might
haven't.
be
We
true.
haven't all seen
But
enough
when
out
I
of Sanu.
think
Yeah, he's
Dorsett,
played in
dude,
I think there's
games,
promise.
Right.
I think there's
I agree.
promise.
But when I think Dorsett and somebody who's been on the Patriots for a while, I think the consistency in the clutch,
He's
dude.
third in receiving right now.
There you go.
Dorsett.
If you've been
It's
watching
Edelman, James White.
and I don't know if you
Dorsett.
guys have seen, if you guys watch Edelman, he's made like a lot of key mistakes this year. Have you guys been noticing that?
How? Ravens fumble.
He's been right.
Yeah,
I was
but
going to talk
that
about the
was-
Ravens
that
fumble.
was-
He's just made like a lot of drops. And I don't want to talk about the Cowboys game because look, it was wet. Wet game.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it's a
not
huge
really
point.
going to judge anybody for dropping a ball or screwing up some kind of play because everybody was screwing up plays. You know what I mean? It's your
about both
classic
ends?
it's your classic New England sloppy football game.
Yeah, receiving, we got, out of the 3,003, this is how it breaks down. We got Julian Edelman, 809 yards, James White, 414, Dorsett, 332. Sanu, he's only played 3 games with New England, though, for 108 yards.
Yeah, and one of those he had 4 because he got injured. And he got injured
Yeah.
in the game before that.
Exactly.
He hasn't done a whole lot.
Who now?
Philip
Who?
Dorsett.
Edelman
No.
hasn't done a lot.
Sanu.
Oh, Sanu. Okay, I see. Right, that's what I'm
Philip
saying.
Dorsett had 2 games of 0. I don't know if that was injuries or if he just didn't get any catches.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't want to live in a world where Philip Dorsett's your number 1.
The only reason I'm saying him
Me
is because
neither.
it's I've just seen him. Sanu has promise. Sanu
Sanu,
will,
alright,
will
who's the number 1 receiver on oh my god, on Julio Jones? Who's the number 1 receiver in Atlanta? Julio Jones.
Julio Jones.
I think we can all agree he's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Sanu couldn't have that. He didn't have that chance to be a number 1. He could be a number 1 receiver if he's given the chance to.
Yes.
He's played really well this year with Atlanta. He had 10 catches in the first game. Dude, Dorsett in the same game.
Yeah,
was
but
that Philly?
that's just
Or
who
was that
Tom
Baltimore?
is.
That was
Tom
Baltimore.
doesn't throw to the same guy every single time. And,
Ever.
and
Which
side
is
note,
why-
Julian Edelman.
he does not just throw to Julian
Which
Edelman.
is why
in the
Patriots
clutch,
receivers suck for fantasy.
that absolutely. it's
because Brandon Bolden, who nobody will ever pick ever in their fantasy
will
draft,
have like
will have, 3 touchdowns.
Right.
Like,
and you'll never know.
never.
What I'm saying is that
and then
you
he'll do
don't,
nothing the rest of the year.
You don't know with time.
Good example of that, Cordarrelle Patterson.
He might have
What
0.
about him?
Last year when he played,
He was a kick returner, and he played like he
but
was a
no,
gadget
but
player.
there were a few games
That's what you're wearing.
where he had like 100
most-
yards and 2 touchdowns.
Most teams have a gadget player that once in a while they pop off.
Right.
That's how they work, dude.
But the Patriots
And then
even
he had
more
one
so
game
because
versus the Bills.
most
he was
of
a
their
starting
players are like
running
that.
back.
I see what he's saying. Though.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
No, I can't. I cannot let this end when we come to the
What I'm
consensus.
saying-
No. We can't come to the consensus that Philip Dorsett is a number 1 wide receiver.
I
know you're
didn't
not
say
saying
he was a number
but
1
he,
wide receiver.
not even for the Patriots, and the Patriots have a depleted wide receiver core. We all know that.
Yeah. True.
But Philip
That's why-
Dorsett's not your number 1. If I'll raise you one, I would say Neal Harry is over Philip Dorsett as a wide receiver
Absolutely.
1.
N'Keal Harry wasn't in this decision. If I were to
Yes,
pick,
but I'm just
I
raising
probably would have picked N'Keal Harry.
Philip
Yeah.
Dorsett's a deep
I
threat
think I
once
would have
in a
picked.
while.
I think I would have picked Harry
Mohamed
over Sanu. I honestly think I might have picked Harry over Sanu. I haven't seen enough out
I
of
wouldn't
Sanu.
be as like.
And I think Sanu's good. I agree with you. I think he's a
He
number
had
1
10
receiver.
catches in his debut versus
I'm with
Baltimore.
you. We're
He's a
agreeing
change
more
of pace
than
possession guy.
we're agreeing
He's
more
a
than we're
number
disagreeing.
1. He's a number 1 receiver guy. He's a lot like Julian Edelman. And he's a change of pace. On 3rd and 4, he can pick you up those first downs. On first down, he can pick you up that 7-8 yard gain to make the 2nd and 3rd down a lot easier. Philip Dorsett is your deep threat that gets you 30, 35 yards once in a while. Is it DeAndre Hopkins a deep threat? No. Is Michael Thomas a deep threat? No. Is DeAndre Hopkins a deep threat? I'm not saying I'm comparing Mohamed Sanu or Philip Dorsett to those guys, but those are number 1 wide receivers in those offenses. Philip Dorsett is not your number 1 guy. Will Fuller's the number 2 in that Texans offense because he's a deep threat. Because he averages in the top 5 for average catch. That's why Philip Dorsett's not your number 1 receiver.
Very nice.
Wow.
You know what, Neil?
I was,
Neil, Michael?
You know what?
Very nice. Very nice.
That was fantastic.
That was some great analysis.
All right, let's
Sweating
move on.
already.
We're moving on. We're moving on. We're
Go
moving
ahead.
on to Games of the Week. Michael, kick it off. We got
I need a
Bills
break.
and
One of you do it.
Cowboys.
One of you kick it off.
I'll kick
All
it
right.
off.
Packers
I'm happy to
off, go
kick
for
it
it.
off. So my
Saints
first
Falcons.
game is Saints-Falcons. So when this game was scheduled before the season, it was put in there to be interesting playoff presence-wise. There were supposed to be playoff implications. No. There are no playoff implications in this game whatsoever. But is there? But is there? If the Saints lose this game, that puts them to 9-3. Is that correct? Right. This Monday, there's a big game. Seahawks-Vikings. Okay? If the Vikings pull out a win against the Seahawks, that takes away the Saints' first-round bye,
Really?
which is interesting, putting the Vikings at the 2 seed. So it gives them another game to have to win. But back to some real analysis. So the last time these two teams played, the Falcons actually won.
One is an understatement.
It was 26 to 9.
9,
It was
yeah.
crazy. So I have the Saints in this one. Here's why. When I think the Saints offense, there are so many weapons. Obviously, Thomas, Kamara, right? Cook, and Breeze. Everybody's.
Cook is really breaking out the past few weeks. Had what?
Yeah,
I think
Cook
he
is.
scored the most out of tight ends last week. Like
And everybody's
20 points.
golden boy, Drew Brees. 8 touchdowns from being
Golden boy.
8 touchdowns from being injured is pretty solid, and it comes down to the weapons. Michael Thomas, 1,141 yards with 5 touchdowns. Come on. And Matt Ryan, 9 touchdowns this year. That's only one more than Breeze, but he's played. Do you know what I mean? So when you think
Yeah.
about it like that, it's not a lot. I got Saints 24 to 13.
All right. Do you want to hop in next, or do you want?
You know what? After you, please.
Well,
Please.
all right.
Please.
So I got Bears versus Lions. Iconic Thanksgiving matchup between these two. The second oldest NFC North rivalry.
I love it.
Um,
I love watching this
What's
game.
the oldest?
Me too.
Do you-
Bears, Packers?
Bears Packers,
Yeah.
probably. What time is this game at? Just
Probably
curious.
12.
Yeah, 12:30.
12:30.
12:30.
12:30.
Love those games.
Bills,
Yep.
Because
Cowboys.
it's right before dinner at like 2
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yep.
That's how
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
like
works.
every like Thanksgiving dinner is at like 2 o'clock.
It's,
Yeah,
it's like
I
a
got
late.
that.
It's like a late lunch.
It's weird.
Yeah.
That's beside the point. I love watching that game because you're cooking. There's something happening in the kitchen. game on.
Yelling,
Right.
fighting,
You're right. Get
breaks
the mashed
out.
potatoes. You know what I mean? Like, it's a
All
lot
right,
of...
analysis.
All right,
Go ahead.
so over under for this 38.5 points. The spread Chicago by 3.5. This week, weirdly enough, I think it's all about quarterbacks, and here's why. So Trubisky, obviously, he's had a terrible year. Terrible. However,
poor Trubisky.
last week, I think they played the Giants.
Listen, I think they played the Rams. They played the Rams last week.
Bears. Okay, yep, Rams.
the Rams.
I knew it was some blue team.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's something. Yeah, he's definitely declined this year compared to last year. His past 3 games.
Declined is an
Okay,
understatement.
all right.
Are you
He's
kidding
played
me?
terrible this
I
year.
think he's in the debate of like worst like bust ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just for the record, I call it. Last year, I was like, this dude is mediocre. When he was like, doing well.
Imagine drafting Mitchell Trubisky in front of Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Aww.
Like 17 picks before.
That's ridiculous.
His last 3 games, he's thrown for 641 yards and 5 touchdowns with a 62% completion rate.
That's not good.
It's not it, but it's something.
No, but
but something doesn't win you games, Neal.
Love it. Great
Something
point.
doesn't win you
Something
games.
doesn't win
How
you
he's done at the
games.
beginning of the year. Both these teams are not great at all.
Bears are like on the outside looking in.
yeah.
Lions, they're on the outside looking to next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lions are better than you think.
They're 3-7-1.
Their record doesn't. I don't think.
3-7-1. Yeah.
And you're right. And I don't think their record represents their talent. I
don't think so either. I don't think so either.
I think they're better than 3-7.
Well,
they don't have much defense. Their offense.
Their defense is screwing.
Stafford,
Yeah.
before he got injured, which really sucks because he was having a really
He had a
good
solid
year.
season, right?
Kenny Galladay before Kerryon
I
Johnson
talked about that a
went
couple
down.
podcasts ago.
Yeah.
How Matt Stafford is really slept on. He works well in the
Yeah.
clutch. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, he's had a good season before he got injured.
Both him and his backup Driscoll are out this week with injuries.
Driscoll's out too.
Oh yeah, hamstring injury. So they are starting
Really?
David Blow?
The fact that he has to go, we're starting.
David, he's a rookie.
Not pronounce it. Blah. Like,
I don't know.
You can't even
I don't
pronounce
know.
his name.
I don't know.
That is a problem.
Yeah. I think the Bears have consistently had a solid defense this year. The fact that Trubisky being on
False. I
some
disagree.
kind of an
Yeah,
incline
dude,
gives them a major advantage, and I think they win 24-13.
Yeah, but what's a major incline for Trubisky? What do you consider a major incline for Trubisky?
Well, at one point it was said some site,
That's like going
some
from
article
0-16.
said that he was ranked 33rd in the league. That means someone's backup is better than him.
Correct. That's like going from 0-16 to 1-15.
No, 34.
Yes! Like, you know what I mean? Like, what?
But it's something.
He was 34.
Something won't win you games!
But it'll win him against against David.
True. Agreed.
Whatever his name
Agreed.
is.
It's a fair point.
Against a third string quarterback.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the Lions' talent.
All right, hop into it. Bills
All
Cowboys.
right, I think personally, I think it's the game of
This
the week.
is the most exciting.
Yep.
This is the most exciting Sunday game. Or it's Thursday game. Excuse me.
So we got Bills Cowboys.
What time is this? Let's see. Bills.
4:30.
It is
4:30.
Yeah.
4:30.
So Bills Cowboys, excited to watch how both young quarterbacks play.
Sorry?
Dak Prescott.
This is the game right after you eat, and you're like on the couch, and you're like, you know what I mean? Sorry.
But you're
yeah,
already
yeah.
kind of like dessert time is happening at like 4:45, 5. So like you're watching like the second half.
Right. I'm with that.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Go for it. Back to analysis.
So I'm excited to see how both young quarterbacks play. Josh Allen, second year.
Yes.
Yes.
I think
Dak
so.
Prescott, third or fourth.
Yep.
Fourth year.
So this is a huge game for Dallas. I could
Huge.
kind
Huge.
of say it's make or break
Oh yeah.
I think
Kind
I
of.
think it is.
Yep.
because
What's their record now? 5-5.
6 and 5.
6 and 5.
6 and 5. I think it's a make or break game.
They're with Philly, right? Philly and memorable 6 and 5.
Right.
Philly's next 5 games are Giants twice, who suck, Redskins, Dolphins, and Dallas. Redskins, Dolphins, and Giants twice. That's not a not a tough schedule.
Yeah. No.
Dallas has a pretty tough schedule ahead of them, including the Bills, who I think they're the most consistent team in the NFL.
They're 8-3.
I will get.
That is so slept on.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
right.
slept
I will
on.
get to that in a second.
The most consistent team in the NFL.
I'll get to that in a second.
Is who?
The Bills. Dallas needs to find a way to beat the Bills.
6 Super Bowls later, but the Bills are the most consistent.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
What?
Give me a second.
I think started like this.
Give me a
season.
second.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
let them back it up.
They
Let
have a
'em
tough
back it up.
schedule. They got Bills, Bears, Rams, Eagles, and then Redskins. But the Bears, Rams, Eagles, Bills, that's not an easy stretch. They're no like, oh yeah, we're gonna win this game. You know, Bills 7-3. It's similar to Pats versus Cowboys, I think. Good defense versus good offense. Cowboys offense, Bills defense. The Bills are the 3rd ranked defense, but the Bills are 5-1 on the road. The Cowboys are only 3-2 at home, and the Cowboys are the 3rd best 3rd down defense. The Bills are 16th, so the middle of the pack. I think it's really going to come down to 3rd downs. I don't say that a lot, a game coming down to 3rd downs. I think this one really could. The Bills rank 11th
Like the
in 3rd
Patriots
down
Cowboys. The
Yeah,
amount of
lot of third
blown 3rd downs.
Yeah.
With that.
The Bills rank in the top half of the NFL. They have the 11th most 3rd downs. Neither team turns the ball over very often. Bills are 2nd least. Dallas is 5th least. Dallas is 6th in points per game, so they score the 6th most.
Right.
Buffalo is 10th least. So they don't score a lot. I think it's actually a 7-point difference. Dallas averages 28. The Bills average 21.
Now that I say it, when you say that, it does remind me. Who said that? That it reminds me of the Patriots game.
That'd be me.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, like just in general, just like the physics of that game, like just like how that went. Like in general, like when Tom threw up that ball, it's wet, so you have no idea if like I'm just saying that there's a lot in the air in that game, and I'm in agreement.
I think being at Cowboys is also really clutch for the Bills, or just like a big, like difference maker.
It's a question mark. I'm definitely
it's
with
a big
you.
factor.
Yep.
So the Bills haven't really won against a good team all year. They're kind of the Patriots boat as of a few weeks ago before they beat the Cowboys and the Eagles. But their best win, in my opinion, in record-wise, actually, is against the Titans, where they won 14-7. So like not like a crazy win, but I think the Bills are gonna pull it out. I really do. They're crazy good on the road, and I think Bills pull it out in Dallas. I think Dallas's hopes at the playoffs become less and less.
Who said that last podcast? Yeah. Oh, poor Cowboys.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Score prediction? You got anything for us?
I'm gonna say 21-17.
I don't think we're going to see a lot of high-scoring games this week, especially
This week or this Thanksgiving?
This Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Especially in Bears-Lions, because...
I'm
sorry, Bills are 4-1 on the road.
4-1 on the road.
Yeah, just wanted to put that out there. Not 5-1, 4-1.
All right, let's hop into Patriots analysis this week. So we did get a dub last week against Dallas.
Awesome.
Michael, you want to start off?
With what?
Patriots analysis?
I don't have too much on it, so let's turn it over to Pat.
I'll turn it over.
Yep.
So I think last Sunday we did an interestingly good job on stopping Elliott. I don't think Elliott was too ridiculously explosive.
Not a touchdown.
And usually he is. And this is something the defense has been struggling with. And I bring up, I usually say this like every week when I talk about the Pats defense. I think of Nick Chubb when they played the Browns. He ran for 131 yards. We won, but we couldn't stop him. He was majorly the
10 yards per carry in the first half.
He was majorly the independent variable in that game. Do you see what I'm saying? Like he was why they were staying at it. Same with Jackson a couple weeks ago, 61 rushing yards for a quarterback. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy. That's like one of the least amount of rushing yards Lamar Jackson's had all year.
Crazy. So when you look at 86 yards from Ezekiel Elliott, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And when you think of Ezekiel Elliott and how explosive he is, as a Patriots fan, I'm happy with that. If someone were to show me that before this game happened and said Ezekiel Elliott is only going to run for 86 yards, I'm going to say, we're going to win this game. Do you see what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah, I do.
Because I have confidence in our secondary that we can shut down Cooper Gilmore, which he did. 0. I started him on my fantasy team. 0 points.
Yeah, I don't know why you would start him.
I know. It was probably stupid. Everybody was either injured or on bye. It's Amari Cooper. It's hard to bench him.
Yeah, you can't bench Amari Cooper. Like, but here, I don't
0 points. Crazy.
Stephon Gilmore covered Amari Cooper 30 times that game. Amari Cooper ran 26 routes. Stephon Gilmore allowed 0 catches.
0. That's crazy. Wow. So what I want to talk about, and I think was the major key of this game. Does anybody know? Does anybody want to guess who you think the major key is?
Okay. Does it have to do with the running game? Isaiah Wynn. Isaiah Wynn.
Isaiah
Wynn.
This is why the Patriots won this game. It was
I have a lot on this.
opened up the game for Michelle.
Yep.
So Michelle ran for 85, Elliott ran for 86. So we'll be like, oh, Elliott did better. Not when it mattered.
Nope.
When you think about those runs, it was chunk yardage. Dude.
Michelle averaged
Broke out. Yeah.
Michelle averaged 4.3 yards on 20 carries, which is
That's
for
good.
Michelle, who hasn't had a sick year at all.
Right.
And I think we talked about that last.
No,
pod
it's
or
not
two
that he
pods
hasn't
ago.
had a super year. It's that Newhouse was blocking for him, dude.
Yeah.
You got to think
Your
about
left
that.
tackle is the most important
Right.
position.
So they were all super key plays with lots of chunk yardage. Someone who's been quiet this year, and like I just said, it's mostly because of Newhouse. Newhouse has been he shit the bed, dude. He's been playing terrible, and I'm so glad that he's not starting. But with some offensive work and some healing of Sanu and Dorsett, if Sanu and Dorsett were in that game, I think we get at least another touchdown or two.
Yeah.
Dude, think about those
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I
What's
agree
his
with
name? Jacoby Myers.
4 catches, 76 yards.
I'm
That's
just
not
saying.
bad.
When you
that's
think
his
about
career
when
high
you think
also.
about when you think about that name, dude, that's not somebody you want to be
Not
someone
right now.
you're
Maybe
leaning
like a few
on.
years
Yeah,
down
no.
the line.
I don't
next
want to be
year or something.
leaning on
Yeah.
Definitely has
Jacoby
potential.
Myers.
Yeah.
He has potential.
Definitely,
Absolutely. He's
yes.
somebody that you can
But
pass
I don't
to.
want him starting versus the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I see a more successful offensive presence in the Pats in the future. Side note, we've won 18 straight regular
Don't say that.
season home games.
Don't say that.
Knock on wood, of course. I was saying we won 18 straight regular season home games. That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
I want to do a little bit of quarterback analysis.
Yeah.
So Dax is 4th year in the league. He threw for only 212 yards last Sunday. It's his lowest of the year. Threw only 1 interception. Gilmore. Pat's defense did a phenomenal job, not only holding off Amari Cooper to 0, but Michael Gallup, real breakout player, past few games. Jason Witten on his return, and Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb did have a few. He had a decent game.
This
He had a
game was
few
looking.
plays.
This game was looking good for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
This game was looking really good for the Cowboys.
On the other side, Brady, he didn't have
He didn't have a good game.
an awesome game.
On the stat sheet, he didn't
Correct.
have a good game.
So he was playing with.
I think he did have a good game.
Okay, but hold on. He was playing with 2 rookies as his
Doesn't
second and
matter.
third wide option,
I think
as
it
well
does.
as the
But we're
weather
saying,
conditions
did Tom
with
Brady
those rookies.
We're saying, did Tom Brady have a good game? We're not looking at who they had for receivers.
Tom Brady
But
had
they-
a good
but
Tom Brady game.
He had a good Tom Brady game.
No,
No,
he
he did
didn't
not.
have a good Tom Brady.
He did not.
Tom Brady had a decent game.
Yeah.
He didn't have a good Tom
In
Brady
comparison
game.
to like who?
Himself.
He threw
other
for
games.
less than 50%. He didn't even reach a
Yeah,
200
45%
yards.
completion rate.
Off
But that's because
38
of the
QBRs.
receivers.
38 QBRs.
I think it has to do with the receivers. I think it has
No,
to
it
do with...
doesn't. The
Yeah, it
weather
does.
mostly.
That's what I was going to say. It was wet.
Dude,
But the weather
Say what
combined
you
with the
want.
lack of experience in his receivers.
Say what you want about
I think Neal's a
Tom
point.
Brady like dumping it off to like receivers the entire time and not taking deep shots. It
He
doesn't.
made a couple key deep shots
Yeah, no,
last
my
year.
point being,
and he
it
nailed
doesn't
them.
take like a top 10 receiver in the NFL to run like a zig route.
You're right.
You could do that and catch the ball. That doesn't take a whole lot. And that's with that weather, with that just weather in general. Really,
Yeah.
Right.
that's all you need.
Okay.
You should not throw 20 incompletions and only have 17 completions.
But if you look
with
back
that.
at that game, dude, Tom himself wasn't making a ton of stupid plays. He wasn't
Yeah.
like, I completely overthrew him. I can remember.
Yeah, no, he did.
I can remember.
I would say
I
he
can
did.
remember 2 throws that he overthrew,
Yeah.
and that happens at least once or twice a game to any quarterback.
Big improvement
Mistakes
that
are
I
gonna be
saw.
made.
I don't know if you guys noticed it. Maybe it's just the Cowboys defense. The O-line stepped
Yeah,
up
Isaiah
a
Win,
lot this week.
win. It was win.
I've
this
been
week.
saying it all year. The left tackle, and it's well known.
Tom Brady was
Yeah.
sitting in that pocket, and he had
For
so much
he did.
time because
He
of
did.
who?
Yep. Isaiah
No,
Wynn.
you know
Win.
why? It's because you're. All right, so picture this. You're a righty, right? Your face like this.
It's his blind side.
It's your blind side. That's why left tackle is the most important position. Not in the entire NFL. I'm not gonna say that, but for the offensive
on the offensive line.
it's the most
If it's a
important
righty,
position.
left tackle.
So when your left tackle's out in Marshall Newhouse, it's your
Poor guy.
replacement.
Uh,
That's not good.
Maybe,
you don't want that.
Maybe he's a nice guy. Maybe he's a great guy. Maybe
he has a good
maybe he's a
personality.
family man.
Maybe
Maybe
he's
he's
a good
setting up for
cook.
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
dinner right now.
Yeah.
We don't know. God, he sucks.
But he's not guarding Tom Brady.
God, he
He's
sucks.
not good.
Yeah.
You know
Poor
what?
guy.
You know what was really slept on? James White had 1 catch for -6 yards and 2 carries for 5 yards. I think it's a big part of why they only put up 13. I think it's also weather. I think it's also no Sanu and no.
There were a lot
Dorsett.
of variables in that game.
Yeah.
But I think I
The
think
important
a lot-
part is
James White's your
we won.
We won.
but James White's your security blanket. You
I
need
agree.
James White in there. So I bring it up with Edelman on those 3rd and 4s and Sanu on those 3rd and 4s. James White is another guy on 3rd and 4. You can rely on him to break a tackle or run a good route on a linebacker and pick up that first down.
Depending
And
on who they're playing.
No, James White's been consistent in receiving
He's
all
been
year.
consistent, dude.
I
been...
can't bring up the stats right now, but I think I could be wrong. In like all but 1 or 2 games, he's had 5 or more catches. Like he's consistently there.
He is.
And
He's second in
against the
receiving
Cowboys,
yards.
when Jalen Smith is your coverage linebacker, that's not good because Jalen Smith, he's the linebacker for Dallas, 2nd-year guy. He sucks at coverage. He's not good at covering at running backs.
But I think
but when he's your guy, you should be able to exploit that. He was also questionable going into the game, so he was battling
50,
some injuries.
56, 19, 57,
No, I'm saying
46.
catches.
Oh, catches.
Catches.
Let's see.
How many has he had less than 5?
He had less than 5. He has 3.
3 less than 5, and those are probably like 3 or 4 catch games too.
Right.
So he's instrumental in that offense. So I
I'm with
think
that.
a company like I've said it 5 times already. I'm sorry if I'm boring you. I've said it 5 times before. A company with Dorsett and Mohamed Sanu and the weather being out, I think James White had such a huge impact on being out that game, or not out, but like being basically taken
Not
out
a
of the picture.
factor. I'm
Yeah,
with
I
that.
mean, didn't have any. He had 2 catches for 5 yards.
Yep. It was interesting. It was interesting to see also Edelman. Did you guys catch what Edelman? I said it before. Edelman was making drops, and I don't know if that had
he
to
dropped
do
2
weather.
8
I
catches
guess.
on
dropped
12
2.
targets.
and probably
Not bad.
You're right.
Not
yeah.
bad.
Side note: that dude's beard is sick.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
guy's beard.
I want to hop in the receivers a little more before we do Thanksgiving foods. We got all right. So obviously we talked a lot about Sanu and Dorsett.
Yep.
And how they had to rely on Harry and Myers both. I think they performed at least decent. They haven't had a lot of exposure with the horrendous weather conditions in New England. Harry got the game's only touchdown for both teams.
Overreaction.
He looked good.
Overreaction. Neal Harry is a possible wide receiver 2 for that team.
Yeah.
He will.
If Julian Edelman is in that
Listen,
offense, he will never be.
I'm aware of that. He's a rookie. I think with time
Yeah.
and with Bill
Belichick.
Belichick coaching
Yeah.
him,
I think. Yeah.
let him develop. I don't know.
Myers had a career high 74 yards.
For example, a guy like Myers will never be. I don't think he'll ever be a number 1 receiver.
He will be like.
And I don't think anybody is going to debate that.
Right. He will never be a number 1
What
receiver.
were the rando receivers we had a few years ago?
Hogan.
No, not Hogan.
Kembrell Tompkins. It's a flashback right there.
Wow.
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 Bringing it back.
Wow.
But both
Wow. Oh
of them,
my
both
god.
of them combined.
Brandon Lloyd.
They both combined for 3 drops and 5 receptions.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
Wes
Oh my
Welker.
God.
Oh. Classic.
Chad Ochocinco.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
That's crazy.
Um,
Chad
yeah, 8 of 11, 8 of 12 targets this week. And had 93 yards for Edelman. And I think confidence in this offense as a whole goes way up with the return of Sanu and Dorsett. Absolutely.
Definitely.
And they're going to play next week, though, right?
On Sunday?
Yes.
I think.
I
Next week. I mean,
believe
Sunday.
so.
All right. So
I think so.
I think so too.
Yes.
I think we're gonna hop into Thanksgiving foods.
All right.
All
right.
I'm ready.
Take it away.
Michael, you can go first on this one because I'm very interested to see.
All right. So
Pat wants
I
to
have-
criticize your Thanksgiving food choices.
That you could not be more right, Neal.
So at my number 1, I have cranberry sauce, and because of this,
Ew.
What?
Shut up. And I'm saying foods, not desserts. This is foods.
Foods, correct.
Desserts
I
do not
didn't
count.
put desserts either.
Oh, I put a dessert.
That does not count.
It counts as a
Doesn't
food.
count.
all right,
It counts as a
then,
food.
then,
No,
then,
I have another food.
okay,
ready to go.
then apple pie.
At number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't like Thanksgiving food that much.
What?
I'll eat
What do
it.
you eat? Onions? Bananas? I don't know. So you gotta name 2 more.
All right, cranberry sauce, apple pie.
Okay. One more. turkey?
Do you not like turkey?
Alright.
What?
This
Stuffing.
man,
How about stuffing? How about stuffing?
You have the palate of a 5-year-old.
Oh my god.
How about stuffing?
Yeah, okay, that's
fine.
Yeah,
Alright.
take it away.
Alright, so my top 3, in no particular order, apple pie, turkey, and my family makes sausage stuffing.
That sounds really
Sausage stuffing.
damn
Yep.
good.
It is solid.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Go for
number
it.
3 for me is gonna be. You guys are gonna get mad at me. The bread. I
Oh,
love
okay.
bread.
Okay. Me
Bro,
too.
I
Me-
will
also love
munch
bread.
on bread. It's like, you ever had like seasoned butter?
Seasoned
Have
butter?
you ever
Seasoned
had
butter?
Have you ever had
I hope we're thinking about the same thing.
garlic butter?
No.
Garlic butter. I've also had
Have you ever had Longhorn butter?
I can't
You ever
say
been to
I have.
Longhorn?
No.
with the honey? Yes.
So
But
good.
yeah, I was like, is it an apple? No, it's honey.
Right.
It's honey
so,
butter.
So number 2, so 3 is bread. Number 2 is the turkey. I love turkey. Number 1,
The
my
skin of the turkey.
with that.
It's just
My number 1 is gotta be my brother's mac and cheese.
Ooh, can I
My-
switch my answer then?
Absolutely. My brother makes the best mac and cheese. It's not like mac and cheese. It's the breaded one.
with
Yes,
the breadcrumb.
breaded mac and
1000%.
in like
Yes.
the in like the big
And,
pan.
and then you scoop it and it's all like
Yeah,
cheesy.
yeah.
cheesy goodness.
Like, alright,
It's so good.
way off topic,
Yeah.
and doesn't fit the Thanksgiving at all.
What's
But
that?
Home Alone, when Kevin is making the mac and cheese before
The robbers come?
robbers come. Oh my god, it looks so good.
That
It
mac
looks
and
so
cheese
good.
looked really damn
Oh my
good.
god.
Yeah. Unreal.
Yeah.
All right, I think this wraps up episode 5 of the 411.
Yeah.
I'm Neal.
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, boys! All right.
Let's go.
Happy Thanksgiving, boys. Good
Oh,
shit.
man.
All right.
That was,
I
that
lost.
was magic. That felt really smooth.
That